Today I'm in the wood yard. I got wood in the trailer and we're gonna do some stacking. Here we go. So the wood that's in the trailer is the wood that I split yesterday, and this afternoon now I've got, I think 4 hours, about 4 hours before dark. So I got the rest of the day I can work out here. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stack that wood that's in the trailer. Then we're gonna back the trailer back up and we're gonna split the rest of this, and I should be able to get it all done. I might even get that stuff stacked before dark. I don't know, we'll see. It's gonna go until I can't anymore, and after that I got all this debris to get picked up, because tomorrow I got most of the day that I can work outside, so I'm gonna hopefully get a whole bunch done. And my plan for tomorrow is the wood that's over in front of the tractor there, those log piles, I'm gonna sort through those and pull out all the little teeny weeny stuff and move it over here and separate out the bigger stuff for going into the processor, because I want to get the processor running. I want to get that pile done. And then I got tree service wood sitting over there I got to get done. I got so much work to do. I got to get busy. I got to quit talking. It's a thing of beauty. So I just backed up the trailer right here. Got the splitter over here by this pile. And I thought before I got splitting again, because usually I just grab it and start going, I thought, people have been telling me for a while now I need to do a little grinder work. So I took off my 4-way, and you can see right here where it's hit, the button's hitting it right there and right there. And it's these 3 buttons. So I'm gonna make slots in these buttons, and then right here it also hits on this little weld right here where this plate is, on the push plate. And as soon as I got this one out, I went and I got my single wedge, and I'm gonna take the tip off of this one and just do a little more sharpening on it and just touch it up a little bit. And somebody had asked me about why they think it's happening, and what it is a bunch of debris is building up in the back of the wedge, and it's pushing it forward because it's got some play in it now. So what happens is, as it's splitting, it gets pushed and then it comes forward, so it's kind of rocking. So debris is falling in the back of it, so the whole wedge is gradually just kind of pushing forward, because it just touches it on those buttons. It doesn't go any farther than that. And when it was new, there was no play at all. It just stood still. But from probably millions of actuations back and forth, it's loosening up a little bit. So because I've been using it a lot, which is what I want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the tip off of this, grind this a little bit. I'm going to sharpen all these wedges up, and then I'm going to take down these buttons. I'm just going to cut grooves in them here, so it's got a little space there, because I still want the buttons there. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, that push plate doesn't need to be have those buttons on there, but I would argue more grip is better than less grip. Because if you get a log that's not cut at a 90 degree on the butt, you know, if you've got a log that's cut crooked, generally it's just when people are here with steel chainsaws, they cut crooked. I'm just joking. It happens that you get a log that will pop out on you, especially if they're wet. If they're wet, they're slippery and they just pop right out. So that's why you got to always try to have your bad cut, if you get one that's crooked, towards the wedge. So you get your flat side up against the actual push plate. So I'm going to grind on those and actually make little scores in them, so they get a little bit more aggressive on the grip. If it was me, it would be more of a toothy kind of a thing on there that I would put on. I would think if you went all the way around this and just put like a ridge of a weld all the way around it, had just a little edge on it all the way around, so the pieces couldn't kick out on this plate. And that's part of the problem with the smaller push plate that the Ultra has. And this is the bigger push plate. It's been replaced. This is actually the bigger one. There's not a lot of room for air. So if it slips a little bit, it slips. So it's grinding time. Here we go. I cut notches in all of these, so it's got some grip now. It grips way more. It's not smooth, so these grooves will help catch the wood. And then I cut some grooves in this top to keep it from popping up, so if the wood gets in there, and it actually grips a little better now. I just slide my hand, it grips pretty nice. We'll see how that does. And I cut the notch all the way up through here, so when it hits here, we're fine. Now this is why it was starting to get notches in here. See how much play there is in this now? Because when I first got it, it didn't move at all. Now I just got a lot of play from it rocking back and forth constantly. So what happens is a whole bunch of debris gets in there, and instead of the wedge being back like that, you can see how much it is. It's that much. And when debris gets in there from it rocking back and forth, it pushes forward, and that's why it's hitting the buttons there. So there we go. Time to split.
Well, that's how much I've got done so far. I've been splitting along like a happy little boy, and the splitter's getting too far away from the wood. I'm having to take too many steps from there to there. So I'm gonna pull the trailer ahead, back it up over here, and then move the splitter over a little bit. And I just thought I'd give you a report on the splitter. Sharper, good. Sharper splitter is a good thing. It cuts really nice. A lot of these pieces are some nasty elm, and there's some really hard ironwood in here, and it cuts through it way better. Because ironwood is a lot like elm. It's not quite as twisted. It's a drier wood, but it's very irony. So yeah, there's that. And my cuts that I made on here, none of the wood has slipped anywhere, which is nice. I'm a little bit off. I'm gonna have to make these just a little bit wider, because where it touches here, it's just touching the edge. I haven't made any nicks in it yet, but I might widen that groove right down the middle there just a little bit more. But other than that, she's working good. Time to move the trailer. Well, I'm back. I just had a visitor to the wood yard that took an hour of my production time, which is okay. It was nice to chit chat. I had a friend stop in for almost an hour. We talked, I ate a little something, and so I've been gone for an hour. So now I can finally get back to work. Sun is already set, and I only got about an hour left of daylight, so hopefully I can get this pile done. I'm not gonna get it stacked, but maybe I can get the rest of it split. So here we go. Well, there's a load. I got that all done, and the sun is down, so I got to get moving. So I got all the stuff that was the ash and the ironwood and maple, got all that done, and then all over here is just a little bit of oak and hickory that I have left to do. So I'm going to quick split this and just let it fall onto the ground, because I'll pick it up with the bucket tomorrow and I'll go put it somewhere where it belongs with the wood that needs to dry longer. But that stuff, amazingly dry when I split it. I mean, a lot of times when I'm splitting, I'll pick a piece of wood up and I'll put it up to my lips, because your lips are very sensitive to moisture. Dry. A lot of it was dry. I mean, dry, ready to burn. So I'm gonna do a little bit more splitting before I can't see anymore and I cut my fingers off, because now that I got the wedge sharp, it really slices. There was a couple pieces I was gonna pull out of here. They're somewhere in here, but there was pieces where I had it in kind of sideways. This isn't one of them, but when it was cutting, it was actually cutting kind of at an angle, so it cut the whole distance of the piece. Cut it, not split it, it cut it. It definitely cuts better, but you got to watch out. It is sharp. I did nick my arm again. I got a little cut on my arm somewhere. Right there, you can see a little bitty cut. Not terrible, but same place as before. And I even took these tips off. I took the tips off, but it's still sharp right there. I kind of ground those down just a little bit there and here and here. All right, it's getting dark. I got to get splitting the rest of this right now. Well, there it is. I realize it's probably hard to see, but that's oak, red oak. That pile is hickory, that pile is cherry, and everything in there is the ash and ironwood. It is split. I got all of it done, so all I got to do is clean debris up. And I threw all the cookies over here into the wheelbarrow. I think you guys can still see that. It's getting dark out pretty fast now, and hopefully the camera picked that up. So tomorrow, stacking, moving this, cleaning this all up. And I think if it's cool in the morning, which I think it's supposed to be, I just might do that first. I might cut that pile of tree service wood over there first thing in the morning. That might be the first thing I do. Otherwise, I'll do it the next day, because it's supposed to cool way down. I gotta go. Mosquitoes are eating me. They're in my ears. I can taste them. That's it for tonight, folks. You know what to do. Poke the buttons tomorrow. I'll be back 5:30 a.m. with a new video for you. If you can't wait that long, there's 800 videos on my channel for you to watch right now. Good night, Irene.